ride. Shorty saw the drop top with the bezel in the ride. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh yeah, I am back. Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Let me start off by I got to give you guys apologies again. Over the last 2 weeks, we've had some things going on in the White household that I've had to truly attend to. And so I have not been able to be as active as I would want to be. And we finally got some things resolved here over the last couple of days. All I can tell you, man, is it was a lot. So I appreciate everybody's patience in terms of just, bearing with us as it relates to our content. We did get content out today. And the plan will be to get content out going forward. It's just, I had a lot of personal stuff going on with the family that, again, needed to take care of. But now we are back in the building, a special Friday edition since I have not been very active here lately. And there's some stuff that's going on in boxing that I want to talk about. We got a couple of fights coming up this weekend. I'm excited about seeing Caleb Plant get back in the ring as well as Jamal Charlo. So that's good. I believe that's going to be free, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, we got a number of things that have gone on here over the last week that we're going to cover as well. So should be a good show. I'll probably stay on here for at least, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how the engagement goes, but let's jump into it. Teofimo Lopez. I just got a message from somebody. No, I don't think so. All right. Teofimo Lopez, man, he got a lot of things currently going on with him. So Teo had some choice words for Turki Al-Sheikh, and apparently this has to do with the fact that Turki Al-Sheikh is unwilling to pay him the same amount of money he would have paid him if he had faced Ennis. And then we saw him on social media. I don't know if he was apologizing, backtracking, or what, but Teo's an interesting guy. So we've heard rumors out there. We've heard people talking about, matter of fact, before I even jump into this, my apologies, because this isn't the way I usually do things. We got all things in the building. Lil J, Band Up, what's going on? TCP, my boy Pork Chops in the building, and Electric Agitator also in the building. My apologies for not giving you brothers shots out. And we got 19 people in the building, but 7 likes, so make sure you smash the like button. But we got Teofimo Lopez, who was talking about facing Ennis, and we what's going on, half a milli. And there was some concern. I won't say concern. There were people talking about the fact that Ennis wasn't necessarily speaking on Teofimo Lopez. So, I guess there were some things out there that I don't know if this was something that was sparked by Tim Bradley in his comments, but there were people that were saying that maybe Ennis didn't really want that smoke. And then, we had Tim Bradley talking about Teofimo and the fact that Teofimo would give Ennis some true issues in regards to a fight between those two. So I think that was that's kind of what bolstered that rumor in regards to Ennis. And then we started to hear a little bit about Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, and potentially that fight being close to being good. And Starry Night, what's going on with you? NO Boxing 504, what's up? And then we hear Teofimo get on his social media and call him a dictator, him being Turki Al-Sheikh. And here we are. Teo doesn't have a fight with either one of these gentlemen. And maybe we'll talk about this in a second, but maybe Devin is going to circle the block and go back to Ryan. I don't feel like any of these fighters are ducking each other. I hear a lot of people talking about Boots and has Boots in his, with his name in everybody's mouth. In reality, I don't think Boots is fighting anyone at 147 pounds other than his current mandatory. We've heard Boots talking about Brian Norman. We've heard him talking about, or we haven't necessarily heard him talking about it, but we heard people in Philadelphia talking about Teofimo Lopez. I don't think any of those fights are going to happen because he has to face his mandatory, and there was a clause in his fight to fight Stanionis that gave him the opportunity to bypass his mandatory to face Stanionis. So his mandatory is next. So I don't think Boots is afraid of anybody. I don't think there's any issue there with him. I just think, in general, he has to do what he needs to do. So that's probably the reason why they circle back to a Devin Haney, which is a fight that I would have loved to seen if they could make that fight. T.O. is obviously looking for a payday. Quite frankly, I think anybody that's currently affiliated with Turki Al-Sheikh is obviously looking for a payday, one more extensive than what they've gotten in the past because they don't sell. So that's why they're over there with their hands out with Turki. Devin is in the same boat. I think Ryan is in the same. Well, Ryan can actually sell a little bit, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily in the same boat. But generally speaking, I think all these gentlemen are over there with Turki Al-Sheikh simply to earn a paycheck or not earn a paycheck by fighting, lesser than stellar opposition. I hope they actually do move. I hope there's a reconciliation between Turki Al-Sheikh and Teofimo Lopez because I would like to see him against Devin Haney. I think that's an interesting fight. I would lean toward Teofimo Lopez right now, honestly, and I know people are going to say that I'm a Devin Haney hater, but I would lean towards any elite fighter versus Devin Haney today, just because of what I saw from Devin here recently. Devin looked shell-shocked to me, and Ryan looked like a fighter that only had one punch. So I don't really particularly want to see that fight. I think Devin can go and prove himself against Tio. That'll be an amazing fight. I think it'll garner a lot of interest, at least amongst hardcore boxing fans. And then let Ryan go and do whatever it is that he's doing. I know he said something here recently about having a hand injury when he faced Rolly. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear anything about what injury you had. You look like shit, and the reason why you look like shit because you couldn't land the left hand. It was really just that simple. We make these things more complicated than what they really are. At least fighters make it more complicated than what it really is. And fans hop on board because they want it to be true. He couldn't land a left hook against Rolly, and that was pretty much that. So hopefully this is a fight that can be made, Teofimo versus Devin Haney. But I don't really think any of these fighters are ducking up one another, and I don't think Jaron Ennis is fighting anybody outside of his mandatory or moving up to 154 pounds. My guess, which I got to be honest with you, if Jaron Ennis ends up moving up to 154, oh man, that's a video. Hey, let me ask you guys something. I'm curious because this just popped in my mind, and I like Boots. But it just popped in my mind. After the Chukazian fight, so Karen fight, they were talking about Boots moving up to 154 pounds. He literally said it after the fight. But there was also a lot of dialogue around him potentially facing Terence Crawford if he were to move up to 154. And now they're talking about him moving up to 54 again. Now, what came out of Boots' mouth was he ultimately wants to be undisputed at 147 pounds. I know this is off topic, but bear with me. So it would be a coincidence, right, that Boots will move up to 54 after Crawford leaves? Any thoughts that maybe he didn't want to be in a situation where there would be pressure for him to actually fight Terence Crawford if he were to move up to 54, or if Turki Al-Sheikh was already pushing for a fight like that? I don't know. Just a thought. I'm curious, chat. Any thoughts around that? It would seem convenient to me if he were to move up to 54 now that the person that we ultimately want to see him in the ring with at 54 moves on. Boots not going to fight Brian Norman Jr. either. I like that fight, but I don't think that's going to happen prior to him facing his mandatory. Starry Knight says the 154-pound division is a bloodbath. That's the most competitive division in boxing. Maybe, but that would be a reason why he would want to stay at 147 and try to become undisputed before moving up to 154 pounds. I just thought it was interesting. It's interesting to me. Why are we talking about Pacquiao? If Pacquiao dominates Barrios, Boots is next. It sounds like to me Pacquiao is actually interested in facing Tank Davis. Hey, Boots may not be chasing Band Up, but certainly your boy ain't chasing nobody either, other than a payday. But we'll talk about that in a bit. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It was just a thought, man. Crawford didn't want no smoke with Boots. Turki wanted to make the Bud Boots fight. Bud didn't want it. That's fair too. Bud didn't want it, but I may be thinking neither one of them wanted it. I don't know. It's just it's convenient. Let's just say that it's convenient. Oh man, you ain't gonna get the cooking nothing, man. You ain't gonna get the cooking a damn thing, man. All you do is talk, 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 talk. Anyway, before I hop into this next topic, we have 43 people in the building, but only 12 likes. Make sure you smash the like button so other people can find this content. If you're new to the channel, this is the Angry Man Podcast and Sports Media, where we're always dropping boxing related content. And amazingly, over the last 2 weeks, even though we didn't drop any new content, the channel grew by close to 150 subscribers. So that is just, I'm so appreciative of that. And that shows that we have reach. It shows that our content is what people want to see. And yeah. So make sure you smash the like button and make sure you become a subscriber to this channel, because you may disagree with us, but at the end of the day, this is one of the fairest places I've been on YouTube boxing, where you can come in and chop it up and give your opinion, and also chop it up with the people that host the channel. So make sure you become a subscriber. I'm calling in Boots versus Pacquiao in December. Man, Barrios probably going to put Pacquiao in the dirt. But anyway, let's go ahead and move to the next topic, man. We got Ryan Garcia and the excuses that he had in regards to his hand and having a hand injury, and now he's talking about potentially circling back to the Devin Haney fight. Personally, and I said this, and this was a topic that I brought up here because I've been saying this since the end of whatever that shit was in New York, whatever it was called, Lethal Fury, whatever the hell it was called. That these two gentlemen, they really have no choice but to go after each other. Devin looked like absolute garbage in the ring, and Ryan Garcia lost and looked like exactly what people had said he was, which was a one-punch fighter. So now all of a sudden Ryan has this interest in circling back and facing Devin Haney. Devin, it doesn't look like he's going to have the option for Teofimo Lopez, so Ryan does make a lot of sense for him. It's an opportunity to avenge himself. I think it's an opportunity to get it back in blood, and it's an opportunity to prove that it was all ostering. Yeah, Ryan did just have hand surgery. That's correct. But he also mentioned that he's ready. That should be the next fight. So that doesn't mean, I don't know how extensive his hand surgery was and how long he'll be out. But the point that I'm making is that Ryan is essentially saying that that should be the next fight for both of them. And he's probably right before one of them loses again. It could be Devin, could be him. I want to see the fight again just for the purposes of I want it all to get put to rest. Was it truly ostering that was the issue, or was it that Ryan could hit Devin from range? I know there's a lot of people that reside on both sides of the spectrum. I'm on the side of science, and science would suggest that ostering does not have the impact of what people are saying. So I think he just couldn't block a left hook. But I would love to see him prove me wrong, and that would be a great opportunity for Ryan Garcia. We'll see if Turki Al-Sheet makes it happen. Turki is just an interesting dude. You don't know which direction he's going to go. He may soon start talking about Ryan Garcia versus, I don't know, Canelo Alvarez. Who freaking knows? It's just hard to say and know what he's going to do. So I think he needs an advisor in his corner to talk to him about what fights people really want to see, and some of the fights that he's made so far, outside of the light heavyweight and heavyweight unification fights, I think have been boo. But we'll see. Let me see what we got going on here in the chat. Chris Brooks. It wouldn't surprise me. And that was just something I heard earlier today that there was some smoke behind that. The possibility of a Tank versus Pac-Man fight in the event that Pac-Man is successful. I can see it happen. You performed like that against Rolly Romero. It's obvious the banned substance played a factor. No, stop it. Rolly kept his fucking hands up, pork chop. What are you talking about, dude? Like, man, like, do you swear you know boxing, but you really don't study boxing. Devin hand was not up. Rolly hand was. Rolly had been anticipating left hooks and practicing rolling up under the left hook from different angles when he knew Ryan was going to actually throw a punch. So, no, it wasn't. Ryan Garcia looked more tired in the Devin Haney fight than he did in the Rolly fight. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm looking up something real quick. I'm just curious if this will support what I'm saying. Let's see. Punch stats. I'm looking at punch stats for Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. I can't find a total here though. I bet you he threw more punches in the Rolly fight than he did in the Devin Haney fight. And if he didn't, the only reason he didn't was because see punch stats that total punches landed thrown. It's actually hard to see this as well. But I disagree. He had way more energy in the fight with Rolly Romero than he did against Devin Haney. I'm not trying to hear that. Dude, you gotta stop with, like, man, what are you smoking? Like, if you look at the fight, you can tell that Rolly was looking for the left hook. He kept his arm, he literally kept his hand up like this the entire time. And you could see every time he thought that Ryan was gonna throw this up and under. Like, what are you talking? Man, you losing credibility by the day, bruh. Stop it, man. Stop it. You losing credibility by the day. I'm not about to go there with you. Anyway, I think both these gentlemen should certainly go after this fight next. I think that's the right direction to go. And I got to get him under control. I know, man. This dude talking nonsense, man. He talking crazy. Man, it wasn't the punch. Yes, he got dropped with the punch, but the punch wasn't the thing, my brother. Ryan started getting gun shy when all of a sudden that left hook couldn't land and something was coming back that could hurt him. That was the change in the fight, my brother. I don't know what it is you're talking about. Go look at Rolly and look how Rolly was consistently rolling up under that left hook. It's not that hard. Man, what is Alan Day talking about? Alan Day, you know I've been in the ring before, right? Just so you're aware, I used to box when I was a kid. Stop, bro. Stop. Anyway, before we move on to the next topic, we got 49 people in the building. Make sure you smash the like button so other people can find this content. And again, if you're new to the channel, this is the Angry Man Podcast on Sports Media, where we're always dropping boxing-related content. So make sure. Well, Alan, I tell you what, man. If you ever near Atlanta, come find me and let me show you. If you ever near Atlanta, just let me know and we can find a local gym and I'll show you just how fast I boxed. I bet after I get through putting these hands on your cheeks, I bet you'll know then. Where you get these guys from? Anyway, make sure you become a subscriber to the channel. I shouldn't have to talk like this to Alan Day. I don't know what's going on. I'm giving him too much love, man. Let me start ignoring him. Anyway, let's hop to the next topic, which is Mr. Keyshawn Davis. Now, this is one that, when the situation actually occurred and the video happened, And yeah. I don't care where you from. I don't care where you from. St. Louis. I don't care if you from St. Louis. Alan Day from St. Louis. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, I do want that smoke. Cats love coming on here, man, running your mouth. Man, I don't care if you from. I don't care where you from. Anyway, next time you're in Atlanta, all you got to do, my email is on the channel. Email me. I'll show. Trust me when I tell you, I'll show up. But anyway, what was I saying? So Keyshawn Davis, this is an interesting one because I've been talking about this one for quite some time. Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, all this brotherly love, we brothers and all this other stuff, all that shit is out the window if you get certain circumstances that occur. That is all you really need in any one of these situations. And I've been telling you all for a while that this whole situation about they brothers, man, number one, you're not brothers. It's DB3 and everything else is all that other stuff. It's DB3. I like what Keyshawn doing, man. Break away from that dude, man. He ain't your brother. And the only reason he buddying up with you is because there's potential for a fight between you two. As far as I'm concerned, if you ask me, I like Keyshawn's style better. I actually like Keyshawn in general. I think he's a good young prospect. And I don't like all that. You know, I come from a different cloth. I come from a different school of thought. I don't believe, hey, dude, you keep running your mouth, and what I'm going to do is you're going to get booted from my channel. Start talking some boxing, homeboy. You already got ignored. Start talking some boxing because you keep talking. I'm gonna start taking that as a threat. Now, I would tell you to chill, homeboy. Now, anyway, back to what I was saying. He needs to ignore all this brother stuff because that ain't it. That ain't it. All this brother stuff ain't it. This guy is somebody who is around your weight class and potentially somebody who you can fight. And if the right amount of money comes along, just like Shakur Stevenson granddad mentioned, that situation could actually occur. It's a business. And at the end of the day, these brothers ain't no kin to each other. Period. So hey, boy, y'all don't know where y'all going in the chat. Anyway, so I would love to see these two dudes start to break away from all that brother stuff. And Keyshawn is going down that direction, man. I like that, man. You got your three brothers, and that should be it. That should be the only thing that you guys should be talking about. DB3 and Shakur Stevens can be your homeboy all he want to, but y'all are in the same weight class, and this we'll never fight stuff makes no sense to me. I'm trying to take smoke off Tank. How? How am I trying to take the smoke off Tank? I'm confused. I'm talking about this topic has nothing to do with Tank. Why is Tank name coming up? Help me understand. There you go, Alan Day. You back on the right topic, my brother. You back on the right topic. Explain to me, Alan Day, how I'm trying to move smoke off Tank. Help me understand. Because I don't understand. I don't get what you're talking about. No, they want that smoke with each other. They want that smoke with each other. Don't avoid each other. They focusing on Tank because they don't want to fight each other. That's the problem. And what does Tank have? Tank ain't never been a champion according to all y'all. He ain't never been a champion. So why they want to fight Tank so bad? Help me understand. But how is Tank 1-2? From what I've been hearing from all of y'all telling me that Tank ain't even been a world champion before. So how is it the fight between 1 and 2? 1 and 2 is Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, the two gentlemen that you guys have said are true champions at the weight class. Help me understand. I'm trying to understand. Help me understand. And every time I turn around, man, these cats go back to talking about Tank. What Tank got to do with this? I'm talking about these two dudes. I'm talking about these two dudes. Why is now I'm gonna be honest with you. Alan Day, I actually agree with what you're saying. That's the fight that needs to be made. I've actually said that on a number of occasions. That's the fight that needs to be made. Outside of me and you when we spar when you come to Atlanta. Because that's going to happen, brother. That's going to happen. But outside of that, that's the fight that should be made at 135 pounds. I don't disagree with that. I'm actually aligned to that. I totally agree with that. But my point is, Keyshawn and Shakur can be the next fight that's made. Why will Shakur? What are you talking about? Shakur would never make. Hey, man, you talking nonsense, bro. You talking nonsense. Shakur is bigger than everybody I've seen at 135 pounds. What are we talking about? No, it ain't no Keyshawn versus Tank. Hey man, well, what? Where are these Terence Crawford fans? There's too many Terence Crawford fans that's in this on this channel. What you talking? There is no Keyshawn versus Tank. That doesn't make any sense because you were just talking about 1 and 2. So that makes no sense, or at least someone was just talking about 1 and 2. So that makes no sense. So Shakur and Tank next makes sense to me. Keyshawn and Tank next doesn't make sense to me. That's number one. Number two, then after that, a natural fight is Keyshawn versus Shakur. Why do we have a problem with Keyshawn versus Shakur? Yeah, once he handles business with Roach, if he handles business with Roach, I told y'all Roach was gonna be a freaking problem. I told y'all and y'all didn't want to listen. Once he handles business with Roach, and then he handles his business with Pacquiao, then he can fight Shakur. And I feel like Shakur, after Zepeda, he could take on somebody like Keyshawn, and then they can fight. Help me understand what's the issue with that. I'm not saying Shakur is bigger than Keyshawn. I'm not saying Shakur is bigger than Keyshawn. I don't believe that to be the case, but I also don't believe that Shakur is small for the weight either. That is what I'm talking about. John Allen, I'm sorry, Alan Day must be I believe Alan Day is a Terence Crawford fan. He gotta be. The way he's talking, he gotta be a Bud Buddy. There's no other explanation other than he's a Bud Buddy. All right, man. We'll see what ends up happening with this situation. What is 2 Cent in the building? My girl 2 Cent in the building? I see somebody just say 2 Cent. Oh, she right. Shakur big. Shakur big. If he handles business with Roach, Tank say he retiring. Well, I ain't mad at that either, man. He's had an illustrious career. There's really nothing else for him to prove. So why does he need to? He doesn't need to fight on. If he wants to retire with all of his faculties, then by all means do it. So you admit that you're a casual. Okay, that makes sense too. All right, man, before we move on to the next topic, we got 65 people in the building, but only 34 likes. Boy, I can't wait to get back. Start showing. As soon as my shoulder get better, boy, cats gonna start realizing, boy, it ain't a game over here. Before we move on though, we got 66 people in the building, but only 34 likes. Let's make sure we get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. We need people to find this content. We need your support in order for them to find this content. And yeah, I'm trying to hold off, but man, y'all gonna make me go ahead and hit
Need
that.
y'all get the likes up, man. Come on, man. Support the channel, support the grind.
Support the channel, support the grind, man. Being a YouTube channel host, you guys, I think y'all think it's gravy, man, but it's not. It's not gravy, man. This is a tough job, man. It's a tough job because it's relatively expensive to do it. So that's it makes it a tough job. But then you subject yourself to all the criticism that people get that hurls your way. And you got to come onto your live stream and you got people threatening to beat you up, talking about they from St. Louis and all. You got to deal with all that stuff when you're a content creator. This is a hard goddamn job. Smash the like button, goddamn it. What's a crazy take? What's a crazy take? I am your leader. What's going on, man? I am your leader is in the building. He says I'm a Tank fanboy. That's fine too. But I love when I see I am your leader in the building. I know it's a great show. I'm not liking this until you get these. What does that mean? 5 rounds, little fella. Oh, I ain't gonna be able to go 5 rounds. That's not gonna happen. Two rounds. I might be able to go 2 rounds with if I train for about a month. I think I can go 2 rounds. I think I can go 2 rounds. If I could train, I'm gonna hit Brian Norman Sr. up, and you give me a month and you give me 6 weeks before you come here and let me get my win right. So I'm in the ring. I'll go 2 rounds for sure. 5 ain't gonna happen, my brother. It's just not gonna happen. Okay. So where was I? No, Pork Chop had said something. So number one, Pork Chop, you know damn well I was being funny. I was being funny because I said that in 2024, Tank had to fight one of 3 people, and he ended up fighting Frank Martin. And I've been on record stating that he needs to fight Shakur Stevenson. That's a fight that needs to be made. There's no reason why that fight shouldn't be made. So, you know, when I say something like that, I'm just bullshitting you. Come on, man. You can see it in my face that I'm bullshitting. Stop taking everything that I say literally, specifically on the live stream where I'm being funny. Come on, man. Stop it. You know damn well I want to see Tank and Shakur fight. If Tank retires right now, I would not put Tank in the Hall of Fame. I think I've even said that on one of our live streams. Like, what are we talking about here? Fuck you, Alan Day. Fuck you. Hey, I keep it a buck. I can't go no damn 5 rounds. Fuck you. I can't. So, whatever. We're going to go up in there. We're going to go 2 hard rounds, and then that's going to be the fight, goddammit. Period. End of story. I can't go 5 rounds. I might not even be able to get to the 2. Yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to go to Terence Crawford. We're going to go to Bud. We're going to go to Bud, Mr. Bud Crawford. The Bud buddies want me to go to Bud Crawford. I got a few topics that I want to cover as it relates to Terence Crawford. And this Canelo Alvarez situation. So which one do I want to start with? Let's start with let's go positive first. Let's start with the positive first, because I think most people on this channel are going to agree with me with this one. It's been floating out there that Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is not going to be VADA testing involved, and that red shirt is a perfect. That red shirt is perfect for the hater in you. Hey, man, forget you. I am your leader. Just hit me with the $9.99. For the love of money. Yeah, I appreciate you. I am your leader. I am your leader is the polar opposite of me. I mean, I don't think we agree on anything. So when you have somebody that's on your channel that doesn't agree with damn near anything you say, yet they will hit you with the $10. That's love, man. That's love. Hey, man, See, that's what I'm talking about right there, dude. I love boxing. Like, what do we? Why do my songs got to be corny, dude? Why do my songs have to be corny? See, this is exactly what I'm talking about as a content creator. You got to come on here and take all this abuse from the people that's supposed to love you. Damn, bruh. I appreciate your pork chop for the $1.99. Man, I'm trying to recall. I think I'm trying to recall exactly where I heard it from. But Jason and I talked about it today, and that's the reason why you seen Jamal Charlo commenting on Canelo Alvarez, and that's the reason why you saw Jeff Mayweather commenting on Canelo Alvarez, because they believe there's videos out there. They believe that there is no VADA testing for this fight. And for me, I know Terence, like this is going to be a career payday for Terence Crawford, and I understand. But at the end of the day, I just feel like if you look at that Eddie Reynoso camp, they've had how many people? Four people pop from that camp. That's a problem, dog. That's a problem. And Canelo Alvarez was one of those individuals that popped. And you can call it tainted meat or whatever, but if I'm Crawford, I'm not going into that fight without VADA testing, dog. I'm just not. Like, it makes no sense to me. Damn, it's been 6? Damn. So, yeah, damn, I ain't know it was 6, dog. But yeah, that's what I've heard. Now, again, I'm not reporting news. I literally said in the video that we did earlier today, and somebody actually in a prior video was in the comment section saying, why won't y'all do a video on Canelo not taking drug testing for the Crawford fight, not even realizing we actually had a video out on that very topic. There is absolutely no way, if I'm advising Terence Crawford, would I tell you to go into the ring and face Canelo Alvarez, moving up 3 weight classes without him taking drug testing, understanding that he's popped dirty before. It's just not something I would do. That makes virtually no sense to me whatsoever. Canelo punches hard enough for at least Jamel Charlo to be concerned about the punches. Terence Crawford, although a hell of a fighter, has to be more fragile than him. Need drugs for a smaller man is still dumb, though great. It is dumb. I think it is dumb. And I'm assuming that I'm hoping that this is not the case. However, who knows? I mean, this could be, how do we know how Canelo processes this fight? Like, honestly, how do we know that Canelo doesn't process this fight as, this is my redemption for the performance that I had against Floyd Mayweather? And there are many people that suggest that this guy is similar to Floyd. Maybe I need a little extra boost to make sure I take him out. Who's to say? Right? But I don't like it. If I'm Terence Crawford, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not getting in the ring with you without VADA testing. Now, do I think Crawford is skilled enough that he could possibly not get dominated, even if Canelo Alvarez is on performance-enhancing drugs? Yeah, I do. Do I think Canelo has enough power, though, that if he lands on Terence Crawford's chin clean, he could knock him clean out? Yeah, I do. And that's the reason why I would not get in the ring with that ninja without some drug testing. Period. I'm not talking about that standard drug testing from the commission. I'm talking about some heavy-duty drug testing, my brothers. That's a problem. Damn, I am your leader says Terence Crawford is on undetectable steroids like Haney. You know what? For some reason, I am your leader. I thought you were a Terence Crawford fan. So VM Cabrones. VM Cabrones, are you Mexican or Mexican American? I'm curious. Conti and Snack are suspect as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel the same way. OSL, what's going on with you, fam? There's a lot of people that feel that way about Snack. As a matter of fact, it was Jeff Mayweather that was talking specifically about Snack. I see. So I'm curious. I'm curious, chat, because I'm. What is it about Snack that make you guys so suspicious about it? Help me understand. Help me understand what makes you guys so suspicious about with Snack. Yeah, listen, man. Terence Crawford gonna give I've seen Terence Crawford hit with punches he saw coming. What are we talking about? Are you telling me that Gamboa can land on Crawford and Canelo can't? Are you telling me Mean Machine can land on Crawford are you telling me that uh what's his name? Madrimal can let come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all better stop drinking that Kool-Aid that Terence Crawford gonna go in there and smoke Canelo. If he does, man, something. If he does, then I'm gonna start questioning Snack too. If Terence Crawford goes up, I've been hearing people say this. I don't give a shit, and I've always been a supporter of Terence Crawford in this regard. Like, I don't think he is on anything. Like the performance that he had against Errol Spence did not look suspicious to me. But if Terence Crawford goes up and he's fucking hurting Canelo, a guy we've never seen hurt, that is a fucking problem. Like, I will not believe that shit. I'm sorry. There has to be another explanation outside of this motherfucker moving up and hurting Canelo, period. Pork Chop just hit us with the $1.99. We about to get some more lame music according to, I can't remember who said it. I think it was I Love Boxing, but whatever. Yeah. Apparently, Snack athletes are more suspicious than people who have actually popped hot already. Can't make this shit up. And I think that's actually fair, man. Now, I get the suspicion around Victor Conte, but man, Devin can't punch. Crawford didn't do anything amazing against Spence that, to me, I saw. It was accumulation of punches and Spence just not being open for damn near every punch. But I didn't see a situation where Crawford looked extraordinarily strong to me. So I don't think it was anything around that. But he goes up and he starts hurting Canelo. I won't believe that. You can't, there's nothing in the world that would make me believe that Terence Crawford's gonna go up there and start hurting Canelo, got Canelo. Like, can he outbox him? Sure. If he can stay moving long enough. I don't think he's gonna be able to do that. And I think being on your bike against Canelo is also problematic. As long as the fight is in Las Vegas. So we'll see. But if I'm Terence Crawford, man, I'm not getting in the ring with that gentleman without making sure that we have some really strong testing in place. That's very concerning for me if I'm Bud Crawford. But that's just old Greg. Now, let's transition because there's two other topics that I want to talk about as it relates to this guy. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines for you all to call in, for you to express your opinions and how you feel about everything that's currently going on in the sport of boxing. I always think that's important to open up the floor for you all to talk. So that's what we're going to do after we cover these two topics. If he hurts Canelo, it'll probably be to the body. Man, shut up. I appreciate the $1.99 though. He doesn't have the power to hurt Canelo. Now, I believe the body is an opportunity. Because of what? I agree. Bud does need him. Totally agree with what you're saying. I love boxing. Now let's go into two other topics though here real quick. So Jamal Charlo is on record stating that he likes Bud. I like Bud. We all like Bud. It's one of our favorite people. Yeah, I don't know where he's getting that from. I'm not gonna say his name, but if I don't know. But so Jamal Charlo had this conversation as part of his final presser where he talked a little bit about Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. This is where he kind of spoke to believing that there's a possibility that Canelo Alvarez could be on performance enhancing drugs. Shout out to Cooking with Frank. Hit us with the $5. Canelo has a 4-fight deal with Turki. Bud is the 3rd fight. Turki gonna tell Bud to take that dive. You already saw him holding Turki hand. Ooh, wow. There's another. You know what? I want to do some more research about this, but Jason mentioned something that was real interesting that I want to do a video on. I'm going to talk about it at the end. Please, somebody remind me about what I'm thinking we're going to do a video after I cover these topics. But anyway, Jamal Charlo mentioned that we're not going to see the same Terence Crawford that we are so used to in a ring against Canelo Alvarez. And he spoke specifically about Jamel Charlo and how Jamel moved up, felt slower, more lethargic, just didn't have the speed that he usually has. And that wasn't the same Jamel in the ring that you saw at 154 pounds. And I have literally been telling everybody within shouting distance that the same thing will happen with Terence Crawford. Walt, who is a longtime subscriber of the show and always shows up on Sundays, I've been trying to express this to him. What you see in Terence Crawford at 147 pounds, you will not see in Terence Crawford at 168. Bud has not shown decent movement since the what was the gentleman's name he won the WBO title from when he first came into 147 pounds that Pacquiao lost to? I can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. I can see him. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name right now. But he hasn't shown a lot of movement since then. He moves up to 154 pounds, and he doesn't look, Jeff Horn is the right answer, and he doesn't look quite as good at 154 pounds. Now we're asking him to add at least to get to the, not necessarily to the limit, but at least to get to where the range is between, 160 to 168. We're asking for him to weigh in at least 160 pounds. Good to see you as well, Steph Brown. We're asking him to do that. So he's going to come into the ring much heavier against a guy that's probably going to be, let's say on fight night against Madrimov, Bud came into the ring at 165. And Madrimov came in the ring at 165. But Canelo going to come in the ring at 185, 190. And he's going to be used to actually fighting at 168 and fighting at that weight class with that much additional weight against Terence Crawford. I just don't see it. And stop with the Bud slips and roll punches. No, the fuck he doesn't. Bud slip punches, but he doesn't roll punches like that. I agree with the slip, but he doesn't roll them. Not often. Well, I'll say that. But he can try to slip and roll all he wants to. I'm going to tell you something about Canelo Alvarez. He hunts you down, and he doesn't punch until he gets in range. I'm telling you. He's not going to be able to fight like Floyd Mayweather. And for some reason, you guys believe he can fight like Floyd Mayweather. To me, the way that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez is through movement. Moving, boxing, landing, that kind of stuff, and not getting caught and not being in one place for too long. That's how I feel he can beat Canelo Alvarez. But if he just stands his ground, I think that's a bad fight for him. And if he stands his ground and he's just hurting Canelo, that is a weird fight. And I would say that something's not right. Yeah, all I'm talking about is slipping and rolling punches, pork chop, in the way that Floyd Mayweather was able to do it, so you don't have to move as much while avoiding the punches. I do not believe Terence Crawford can stay in range and just simply avoid the punches. Crawford fucking gets hit. He get hit. We've seen Terence Crawford hit before. He gets hit a lot. Well, I won't say a lot, but he gets hit. So it's if some of these lesser fighters can hit him, Canelo can hit him. So my thing is, Terence Crawford has to be very strategic in terms of when he moves, when he doesn't move, when he's trying to just avoid a shot, and when he gets on his bike and move and trying to be strategic and landing those shots and getting the fuck out of the way. Man, Terence Crawford feet gonna be slow too. And Terence, we'll see on fight night. Because if you telling me that your solve is for Terence Crawford to do what? Just You think he's gonna just throw, and be able to land and then be gone before Canelo does anything? Is that what you're saying? So now Canelo is a straight zombie. Let me ask you something, Alan Day and Pork Chop. So if Canelo loses to Terence Crawford because you guys say he's a zombie, so will you then give Terence Crawford full credit for beating the guy that you're saying is a zombie? VM Cabrones, I agree with you. I don't think they have really studied Canelo. And they think because Skull was able to just avoid him because of the height and reach, Terence Crawford would be able to do the same thing. I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're a skilled enough fighter and all you want to do is be on your bike, yeah, you can avoid most fighters. Specifically, if you got a significant height and reach advantage over them, like Mel did, like Skull did. Crawford won't have that same luxury. Crawford won't have that same luxury. So, and I'm telling y'all, Canelo is going to fight very similar to how I thought Errol Spence should fight. And there's going to be less opportunities to counter Canelo. Watch what I tell you. You will see less opportunities to counter Canelo. Styles make fights. Canelo is a lot smarter than what you guys are giving him credit for. And this is probably going to be one of the more intelligent fighters that Terence Crawford is in the ring with. Plus, he's going to be bigger. Like, if I were listening to you guys, I would think Canelo's a fucking bum. Okay, stylistically, I would say stylistically, Canelo is an easy fight if they were the same size. Or I wouldn't say an easy fight, but Terence Crawford has a clear advantage. But I don't believe that this is an easy fight. And King KO is correct. Canelo is much more accurate than Errol Spence. This Errol Spence fight has fooled mother suckers to believe that Terence Crawford is something that he's not. I do. Like, all of a sudden, if you are a fighter that is just not the super gifted, technically speedy kind of fighter, then you can't beat Terence Crawford. I'm telling you, that's not true. I don't give a damn if you mention error. I'm talking about what's deep rooted in your mind. I know that this is deep rooted in your damn mind. I love boxing. Bud is a great fighter. But what I'm telling you is that people are now acting as though this guy's indestructible. Those are two different things. Sugar Ray was a great fighter and lost to fighters that were not as fast and not as technical. That's what I'm saying. To your point, there's a level of delusion as it relates to Terence Crawford now. Like, I would think that this dude is freaking indestructible the way that we're talking about him. What am I not keeping it real about, Jesse Shields? What am I not keeping it real about? Shit. I need to open up the phone lines, man. The only thing I had left was this whole $10 million that Terence Crawford is supposedly getting paid. I'm not going to even go into detail about that. That's a bunch of poppycock. He's getting way more than $10 million. So let me find the link to the dial-in, and then let me drop this into the chat. Why the freak did it do that? Why did it do that? Sorry, give me 1 second. It just dumped like this whole bunch of crap into the chat. It was supposed to just drop the number. My apologies. 1 second. Okay. All right, here's the number here. All right, that's the number right there. It's pinned to the top. You are welcome to call in and tell me either how right I am or how absolutely wrong I am and how I don't know shit about boxing. I'm open to all of it. Let's go. I cannot wait until this fight occurs. Oh, the one thing that I did want you guys to remind me about, Jason and I were talking about this earlier, and I don't know where Jason got this from. I got this from Jason, but apparently there's already a backup plan in place for Canelo, a fighter as a backup plan in case Terence Crawford pulls out of the fight. Why that exists, I have no idea. That is one of the strangest things I've heard, but that's what I heard from Jason. I don't know where he got it from. So, yes, sir. 404. What's going on, fam? You in the building?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
It's Coach Marcus Walker, King Cam's dad.
Oh, what's going on, fam?
What's up, family?
Oh, chilling, man. What's going on with you? Talk to me.
Just chiming in. I saw you, man. I'm sitting up here just chiming in on this fight. Man, I think it's going to be a very technical fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the smartest fighter that Terence Bud Crawford has been in the ring with. And I think this is probably the second smartest fight I think Canelo's been in the ring with. So
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be a chess match. I'm thinking.
I agree.
And I don't think Canelo's going to make a move until he realizes he can walk Bud down. And once he feels like if Bud can't, only thing he has to worry about is getting hit with something that he doesn't see. But, I mean, he's been shown to have a iron chin. You know, we've really never seen him hurt. And the thing is, because Bud, I like what he's doing, taking this much time. He's growing into his body. If I've seen him, growing into his body, and he's building strength and able to put some weight behind those punches. That's the only way he's going to do it. But if Canelo feels like there's nothing this guy can do to hurt me, he's going to walk him down. He's going to just bully him. And that's when it's going to get real ugly.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think because he wasn't able to get in range with Skull, that they believe that this is going to be the same type of fight, but not realizing Terence Crawford is not as tall. He doesn't have the same range as a Skull. So, and that guy really just didn't want to engage. Crawford has a lot of pride. He's going to want to engage more. And I don't think it's going to be as hard to find Terence Crawford as many people believe it will be. And to your point, like Canelo is different from Errol. People like to pick at me about this. And I say, you know, I felt Errol should have walked him down behind a high guard because of the counterpunching. And Errol tried to box from the outside. And if I would have known Errol was going to do that, I would have always said that this is going to be a disaster. The one thing that I've noticed about Canelo is that Canelo doesn't punch until he's absolutely in range. So all this, he's not going to be jabbing his way in. He's going to come in behind his guard, moving his head, and when he gets in the range, he's going to throw then. So there's not going to be as many opportunities for Crawford to counter as people think. And I just see it. I don't think it's going to go like many Crawford fans think it will. Now, if Terence Crawford can just move all night, different story. But I don't think he can.
Not with that weight.
And he's going to be almost 38 on fight night. 38.
Yeah.
So age is going to play a factor. He's putting on all that weight. As you probably already know, muscle eats a lot of energy. Muscle requires a lot of oxygen to fuel it. And so if he's adding muscle, that's going to take a different level of oxygen consumption and things of that nature. And he can train as much as he wants to, but you know it's different when you actually get into a real fight. So that's going to be the challenge for him. And I just don't, I think people feel that this fight is just, I don't, Breadman is talking about Crawford can knock him out and all. I'm just like, dude, really?
Because, you know what? I'm just going to be honest with the state of boxing. You know what? It's not big, the race card. I mean, hell, everybody else plays it. I'm pulling for him. For one, the little man coming up to make the big man. And to create history. Then also, I'm standing behind our black fighters and just saying, okay, I can see if he was just some guy that he's Terence fucking Crawford, and I'm gonna give him that respect. I'm gonna pull for him. I'm wishing him the best. I'm giving him a shot. You know, I'm giving him a shot. To me, it's like 70-30. You know, and that's mainly on a decision. if he can be busy, because we have seen Canelo outbox. I thought, Lara did a great job with him. Trout did a great job with him. You've seen him get behind a little bit, even with Paul, with not Paulie, what's my guy's name? I forget his Amir. You got guys that came in there, but the thing is, can you avoid the big punch? And that's what I tell people about punches, and I even taught my son that. Yeah, they can be a big puncher, but they have to land it. And that's the main point. If they can't land that big punch, okay, you can do some damage. You can make things hard for him. So, and Canelo's slowing down. Those legs are getting a little old. People have to keep in mind Canelo got a lot of wear and tear on his body, and it's just not from fighting. He's been fighting for a long time, but people don't think about that training that goes into it. Same thing with what's my guy's name? With Loma. Look, that's why his career, you only see Loma in championship fights, and then look at his career now, because look at all the wear and tear, not just from fights, but you're talking about training, sparring. It takes a lot out of a fighter, more so than the fight does. So I'm pulling for Bud. I think it's going to be a very, very, very good fight. And a little news for you, just off the topic, Cam will be fighting July 5th, Shreveport, Louisiana. For his first fight under BLK Prime.
Oh man, that's what's up
for that. Yeah, we're gearing up for that, bro. And so definitely, and I'm gonna bring him back, and we're gonna talk to you about getting on here and just making an announcement and things of that sort. But maybe see if you can get down there.
Oh man, absolutely.
Get down there, man.
Absolutely. I don't know if BLK Prime is. They may not be a fan of mine, but absolutely, we'll get down there and support for sure. And we certainly want to get him on the channel to talk about his upcoming fight, man. That's amazing. Yeah. He said Pork Chop is in Shreveport.
We did a media deal.
Oh, you did a media deal with him?
We did, we did a media deal. So we're still free. We can stop. Cam has his own promotion company, so so
that is awesome,
so
man.
I just want to get those eyes on him. And I think who is this? I think Devin Haney has a guy going for the WBC silver, international silver belt on that card.
Gotcha.
Well.
Oh, so maybe Devin might be there too. No, that's good.
He's gonna be there. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. And certainly we got to get King Cam back on here to talk about his upcoming fight and just talk about the sport as well. And we got to have you on here too, sir, man, to talk about the fight in the sport as well, because of course it just like a lot of these other folks that are out here in boxing. So no, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'm worried about. I'm sitting here looking at all these guys popping on these Munguia and things of that sort, man. I'm just like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. I think that there's no telling who's on what and who's dirty, and that's the one drawback to the sport for sure.
I say, do you suspend the trainer?
I don't know if the trainer actually knows anything though. It's the strength and conditioning person, right?
But I mean, but look at that under that umbrella, though. It's kind of like, let's look at like Bob Baffert and racehorse and horse racing. That, man. I mean, it's coming from your stable.
Yeah.
He has about 7 or 8 fighters that have popped in the last, probably like five Lions have been there. You got 5 or 6 in the last maybe like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that's definitely a challenge.
It's like, okay, what is it? Can't keep hollering tainted meat. There's smoke, there's fire. But you need to clear out. You got to clear out people and just say, hey, you pop, you're out of here.
I don't disagree with that whatsoever. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think they need to do more to clean up the sport, but it would be nice if the sport was under some type of league where you kind of force some of these things, but at the same time, it can't be under the control of Turki Al-Sheikh, because as you can see, that's not going to work either. That is not going to work. I
see a lot of people are turning heads on that as well, but they're going to go where that money is, and and that's what they're looking at, and whether it's good or bad for the sport. It just depends on who's looking at it, but I know he's paying these guys, and and if that's what they want to go for, that's on them, Maybe one day he'll come knocking at our door, but it'll have to be something good in order for us to to consider it, and
Go
we
get
want our
that
man
money.
over here. That's our man thing.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
if need be, go get that money. I ain't mad at nobody for going and getting it, but
it has to make sense though.
yeah, it definitely has to make sense. It definitely has to make sense.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to
Yes,
share with
sir.
the people?
Oh man, I love your show. We
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
you and all you do, man, and what you bring to the sport, man, and just keeping us abreast of certain things, and even your outtakes and your insight on the game. It's
I
needed.
I really appreciate that.
Okay.
It's so interesting because my main critics are some of the biggest people that follow our channel. It's amazing, right? It's like you suck, but I'm here every day.
Hey man, you got
So it's
people that
just
love to hate you.
interesting. Yeah, you do. You do. You got people that love to hate
And
you,
that's
and
it.
you got to embrace
But
all
it's a
of it.
respect there. Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
respect there for it. If they have a respect for you, or they
Yeah,
wouldn't listen.
exactly. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm appreciative of it, and yeah, we just keep growing, man. We're trying to get to 30,000 by the end of the year. We had 20, almost, I think 23 and some change. So we pushing, we
Okay.
grinding.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. I'm gonna help you push that too. So,
I appreciate that. Appreciate
all right.
that.
All right, brother. Much
All
love,
right,
man, and take care. We'll be in contact with you, bro.
all right, we'll do. Just text me.
All right. All
All
right.
right,
Thank you.
later.
Later.
That was Marcus Walker, the dad of King Cam Walker, friend of the show and up and rising fighter right now, fighting out of Miami, Florida, and his trainer is Glenn Johnson. So y'all need to go check out King Cam. And hey, Marcus, if you could drop Cam's Instagram in the chat session so that people can find him and follow him. Okay, man, I think we got a buster coming in, man. I think we got a buster coming in. Hold on. I think we got a buster in the building. Do we have a buster in the building right now?
Man, I ain't gotta announce nothing.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much at all, man. Yeah, man, we got a lot going on lately, man, with the Tio whole situation.
Yeah, talk to me.
Stephanie and Raphael tell it they was sound like him and Devin Haney had came to an agreement.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, your boy Tio started lashing out. Like, I don't know what that was about. I mean, was he
I
trying to
heard it
get
was
out of
about
the
money.
fight with Devin?
I heard it was about
But
that
I'm
they didn't want to pay
saying,
him the same amount.
but I think anything is an upgrade from what he was getting from Top Rank, though.
Yeah, but everybody want to
I
go over
mean,
there and get
when
that
you
turkey
were
bag, though,
saying,
brother.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But you gotta. I mean, he did. In my opinion, I see some people criticize his performance, but I thought he did a good job on that last card. But I'm just saying though, what you getting from him got to be more than what you was getting from Top Rank, man. Come on now. He gonna turn around and kiss the ring in a few days, man. Then we gonna all say, damn, man, he really should have took the deal in the first place with Devin Haney. I mean, that's a good fight. It's a demand for that fight, you know.
I think
I
it's a good
kind of
fight.
wanted to see him versus. I wanted to see him versus Boots as well, but you know that ain't nothing. That was nothing like, you know. That was kind of like what it is. It ain't necessary. What's
Hmm.
necessary is Norman versus Boots. You know, I think that's what's necessary. And Tio versus Devin, man. People been asking for that for years, man. So it only makes sense we get that fight, man. But
I don't
Bud
disagree.
and Canelo, man, yeah, Greg, you can't say it's a cash grab no more because he only getting 10 million, man.
He not getting no
He going
fucking
up there
10
for the
million, man.
legacy.
Stop, dude.
Yeah,
Stop.
man, he only making 10, but that's what he said. He going up there for that legacy.
Hold on, bro. So you telling me, and I know you a Bud buddy. I know you, boy. You got your arm. He's spooning you, but you telling me
No,
that? Hold on, let me finish. You telling me that he only got $10 million to fight Avanesian, and now he's gonna fight Canelo, and he's just getting the same 10 million, and you believe that shit?
hey, I don't know what he got against Avenesian. 10
So now you
million was
said so. So
reported,
then
but
he was lying. So then he was lying.
I don't know. Somebody
So,
might have
because
been lying. I can't prove. I can't.
he either hold on.
You know
He's
what
either
I'm saying?
lying. He was either lying about getting 10 million back then, or he's lying about getting 10 million right now. One of them's a lie.
Well, I mean, I can't confirm nor I can deny. I mean, I just know that was what was reported. The 10 million was reported. That was the number.
And he
But
said
like
he
I
was
said,
getting.
I
And he
don't
said he
know.
was getting 10 million.
Hey, I ain't seen nobody book, so I can't tell you if that's what he was getting or not, man. I can't tell you.
Well, I know
don't
he
know.
got. I know he got in the 20s for Errol. So you telling me he gonna get less for Canelo?
Hey, I mean, who knows? You did say that's bad.
Does
That's what you said.
does that make sense to you? I don't care what you say. He said. Does it make sense to you that that Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow and that Terence Crawford is gonna get less? He's gonna get less to fight Canelo Alvarez versus what he got to fight Errol Spence and the same as Avanesian. That makes sense to you?
I mean,
Yes or
I
no?
don't know.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Does it make sense?
I said, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know because y'all did say the money drying up over there. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe Canelo got it all.
Does it
Maybe
make
Canelo
sense
got
to
all
you?
the funds.
Does it make sense to you?
Hey, I'm just saying, according to what y'all said in the past, it makes a lot of sense. The well drying up over there. That's what y'all said, right? Hey, I got to hold y'all to what y'all said. Ain't that what y'all said? And now we know that was proven word of mouth that he only getting 10. So we can confirm that the fight is a legacy fight. We can no longer deny that. You know, it's not a cash grab.
It's a cash grab, brother.
But yeah.
It's a cash grab.
Man.
No. He also said out of his mouth he getting 10 million for Avanesian.
Hey, you might have to take him at his word then. You might have to like I said, I can't confirm nor deny, man. I ain't seen
But that's fine. You can't confirm nor deny, but you can answer, does it make sense? Does it make sense for him to get less money to fight Canelo Alvarez, who is the cash cow of boxing today, than he did against Errol Spence, and the same that he would have gotten based off what he said against David Avanesian? Does it make sense?
What he got against Errol Spence?
He got in the 20s.
Well, you heard.
Does it make sense?
I ain't never heard nobody say that.
He got in the 20s.
Hey, if you confirming that he got a 20, then hey, maybe it don't make sense. I don't know, man.
No, it don't make no sense. You saw how Terence. Hold on. You saw how Terence Crawford dressed before. Terence Crawford was getting $5 million guaranteed from Top Rank. You saw how he dressed prior to that, and then after the Errol Spence fight, you saw how he started dressing after that. So clearly, he got an upgrade to pay.
He's dressing the same. Nike Techs with Air Force Ones and Team Jordans. It ain't nothing changed. Ain't no change. Ain't no jewelry. Ain't none of that. Ain't nothing changed.
Man, this dude wearing Versace shirts now, man. Dude was wearing Walmart brand.
Bro was in there with Rihanna with a Nike Tech and Air Force Ones on. Come on, man.
Right there. But prior to that, what I'm saying is that I had never seen that man in a Versace shirt whatsoever. And now all of a sudden he wearing Versace shirts. He was wearing Mainstay. He was wearing Mainstay shirts from Walmart. I saw his shirt. It said Mainstay. Now all of a sudden he wearing Versace. Come on, brother.
The fashion, the drip different over there in Omaha, man. They in cornfields and shit. They ain't got to put on all that Versace and Balenciaga and all that. Come on, man. But the fight, man, it ain't no easy fight. Let's make that clear. Ain't nobody saying it's an easy fight. Been calling for it the past 2 years, as you know. It ain't no easy fight, man. If it was easy, we wouldn't call for it, you know. Errol fight ain't got nothing to do with this fight. The Skull fight ain't got nothing to do with this fight. The Masvidal fight ain't got nothing to do with this fight. How Skull looked against Canelo is not indicative of what's going to happen against Bud. We don't know if Canelo going to look the same against Bud. So I take that fight with a grain of salt. Wasn't too much going on. But I will say, man, and this is what I always said, I feel like in sports, in competitive sports, especially in a sport like this, you got to keep your foot on the gas, man. You got to like you know the saying, you got to keep your foot on that tiger neck. You got to keep it. You got to keep the pedal to metal at all times in competitive sports. And I feel like he's slowly but surely letting that foot off that tiger neck, and he cruising right now. He done
You
had
talking
too
about?
many
You talking about? You talking
so-called.
about
I'm
Canelo?
talking about Canelo. I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez. He been in the shallow. He been in the shallow end of the pool. He ain't been in no deep waters in a little minute. He ain't had to face no adversity in a minute. And what I believe is you cannot flip the switch all of a sudden and say, okay, I want to turn up now. I want to come and do what I need to do. I don't want to just do enough to get done. I want to go and prove a point. I don't think you can do that in this game. With that being said, I do not think his skills have diminished. I think the mentality, the motivation isn't the same. I think the silk sheet is getting to him. And we gonna find out whether that's true or not. That's just my running theory I've been going with for the past 2 years, man. But it ain't gonna be easy for Bud, man. It's gonna be, we're gonna fuck around and find out. I think he gonna get hit early. I think he gonna get hit often. That's just what it is. You not untouchable. You gonna get touched. It just is what it is. He gonna hit you on your shoulder. He gonna hit you on your hip. He gonna do all that. He gonna hook. He gonna hook more than he gonna jab. He gonna walk. He gonna try to walk you down behind the high guard, like you said. You know what I'm saying? I think the jab gonna be there for Bud all night though. Jab to the body, jab to the head. I don't think he gonna stop Canelo. If and a big if he were to stop Canelo, it'll be to the body, just because Canelo got a long history of having a bad gas tank. That's the only possibility, and it's a slim chance of that. But yeah, man, I got Bud, man, by whatever.
Okay. What if he goes into the dirt?
And he going into the dirt, man. That's a sad ending to a great career. But what if he get his hand raised?
Then he Canelo was just what you guys said he was, a bum.
What if he make it look easy?
Then easy how?
Like July 29th easy.
Not gonna happen.
I'm just saying, what if it do? You gonna come with excuses, or you gonna accept that reality?
Excuses.
But yeah, man, like the last caller said, another thing he did say, he said he's gonna play the black card, man. I don't think you playing the black card at all. Well, the race card, I mean, I don't think you playing the race card at all, being a black person going for Bud, because if you really look at it, a lot of black people gonna be against Bud, and it just is what it is. So, you know, hey, man, it's up to you, whoever you think gonna win, who you think gonna win. But to the coaches that was seeing Bud by stopping, I think I heard Bozy and Breadman say that. I think they nuts. I ain't gonna lie. I think I think them tapes was a little off the wall. But other than that, man, I got Bud. Decision, man. We're going all 12. We're gonna get it done. Gonna be 3-time undisputed. I'm out.
All right, man. Later. That was Pork Chop calling in, aka ASVP TV, to talk a little bit about Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. You know, what was interesting in what he said was that he knows Canelo's gonna walk him down behind that high guard. I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be the difference. That's gonna be the difference. Canelo gonna be changing it up with head movement and coming behind a high guard, and Canelo doesn't punch until he gets in range. It's not going to be like Arrow, where Arrow just kind of jabs to jab, trying to jab his way in and giving all these opportunities for counterpunches. That's not Canelo. You're not going to have the same opportunity for counterpunches. It's going to be a different fight. I can't wait to see it, man. You know, before I was like, I didn't want to see it, but now I can't wait to see it, because at one point, you know, I was pulling for Terence Crawford, but, you know, I got tired of hearing the Terence Crawford fans, man. I got tired of them. Hey, we got 901 in the building. I think, is that a Memphis number?
Hey, Greg, what's going on, man? It's Santos out of New England. How you
What's
been?
going on, man? How's it going?
Good. Just a couple things, man. One, I do respect ASVP TV. I don't agree with half of what he says.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I normally call in about the business of boxing. So just this idea that, and I watched that interview with Akim Barak, and we don't want to be in a man's bread or basket, but he's not getting 10. He at least, come on, I mean, maybe 50, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, watching different outlets, you see that Canelo was trying to get 200 million. He'll split that, maybe 100, 150. It only makes sense, right? You negotiate the job, you never go backwards. So when it makes sense, and I just think that was a way for him to be sarcastic. I didn't take that serious at all. Like, if you ask me my numbers, I'm not going to tell you in full, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
But one thing I wanted to kick to you, though, is I'm kind of feeling like because of Turkey, boxing's become a little exclusive in the sense of the tickets going out to Saudi, right? So we've seen that he's lost money on some of the fights. So I'm hoping that's not the case with. I'm going to watch it. I think Nelo's going to put butt in the dirt. I'm surprised by some of the delusion. But so I think that's interesting. I think it's become a little exclusive. Pricey for the tickets. I don't know if it's still in Vegas. I heard it was, and so they're trying to get the venues, and then so I'm hearing a lot of different things that I don't know what's true in terms of them actually getting, the date, the venue. So we'll see with that, but I just think it may become a little too exclusive if they do it over there in Saudi. I know they're going to do it in the USA, but and then lastly for me, man, I respect folks who fan for whoever their fighter is, but even Bud himself said on that Akim Barak interview, he said, Gamboa was the hardest hitter. And I'm like, what do you think that Nelo's going to do to you? Could you take a shot by Triple G? You know what I mean? So it's just, I get the confidence. I respect that, but I think it's just a little delusion, super delusion, and and that's fine. You go for your guy. We'll see. But I will say with Canelo, I hope he doesn't. You remember when Spence fought Mikey Garcia, and he wanted to box him? I just think Canelo needs to shut him down.
I agree.
Just shut him down. Don't do that. Does he have a chance? I mean, yeah, it's boxing. It just doesn't make any sense. I really want to see Canelo and Benavidez. To me, this is a distraction, but I'm not going to be on another black man's bag and, hey, get your money, do what you got to do. But I have the right to critique you. So, right, I'm not knocking him, get the check American way, but I do have the right to critique. But other than that, man, we've been missing hearing from you, you and Jay, man. But I hope all is well, you and the family. And that's what I got to say, man. I just got on call in, so I know you get a lot of Butt fans calling in. It's just you got one great name, which was Spence, and since then you did horrible at 154. I don't care what folks say. People talk about it, and now you get the Canelo bag, and somehow you're going to be amazing tonight. And maybe you will, but it doesn't make any sense, Greg. It doesn't make any sense, bro. So
it doesn't. Logically, it makes no sense. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Here's the thing about the Spence fight, and this is why I think people are drinking the Kool-Aid. And I got to be honest with you, it even makes me a little nervous, right? But because how dominant Crawford was over Spence. And I think that is what has emboldened a lot of people in regards to their takes on Terence Crawford. But I always knew Spence was going to have problems with Crawford if he couldn't deal with the counterpunching. That was always the case for me. I always knew that to be true. But what I thought he was going to do to eliminate that was to fight behind the high guard and make it more challenging. But unfortunately, he just tried to continuously jab his way in, and I'm like, the guy just countered him to death. Had I known he was just going to do that, I'd have picked Crawford right from the beginning. Yeah. 817, you in the building as well. What's going on?
Okay. Am I on?
Yeah, you here?
Yes, sir. I think if we're talking about this Crawford versus Canelo, I think what people are underestimating. I think yes, you see Canelo, he's squat, he's heavier and everything else, but I think they believe Terence is going to just sit in there and just trade with him. He's smart enough. I believe that's why Bo Mack is going to work on his conditioning. He's going to do a lot of running and stuff like that because he's been bulking it for a while, so it's not like he's just going to do it just for this fight. He's been taking time to actually put on the weight so he can be ready for the fight, but it's going to be in his conditioning. So I see him honestly, but what I can see what Bud will do is he's going to establish a jab, not only to the face, but more importantly to the body. Because if you've seen Canelo, he does not like to get hit at the body. So I can see him doing a lot of body work jabs to the stomach, to the body, and around 8th to 9th round, that's where you see him to start to trade. Because, one, we see that Canelo cannot cut off the ring, and his conditioning fades as the fight goes on. So, therefore, it would be crazy for Bud to get in there and just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to there's a meeting in the middle of the ring, and we're just going to trade. No, I think he's going to use jab to keep him at bay, just to hit him on the body to make him reset. And then later on, that's when you'll get the exchanges when he'll be able to tee off a little more, because I think they're probably around the same as far as hand speed, probably maybe give Bud a little bit more. But Bud and his team, they're not going to be like a lot of people anticipate, like, oh, he's going to go in the middle of the ring, we're just going to slug it out. I hit you, you hit me. I think he's going to be strategic. He's going to do a lot of body work early to set him up for combinations of shots later in the fight.
I guess I'm okay with that. And Greg, I won't be on long. Oh, my bad, Greg. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to say, I hear you, but I don't think anybody believes he's going to go in the middle of the ring and trade with Canelo. I think we all believe he's going to try to be strategic and move around the ring and try to figure out where his shots are. I see Terence Crawford as someone who is way hittable, and I think once all of a sudden Canelo is hitting you in your arms and your legs and stuff like that, those can be shots that actually slow you down. And I just think that he's going to feel the difference. That's it. And we'll see what happens. What were you about to say, Santos?
Exactly what you're saying there. I'm wondering, and I respect the caller, other caller on the line. I'm thinking, hey, will Bud be able to carry the weight around in the ring again? I get his walking rate, but it will be different that night. No, I agree with the caller and stuff. I don't think he's going to stay in the middle. Can he take Delo's count? I mean, folks are sounding as if Canelo has no IQ. So what I'm feeling like folks are doing, Greg, is we're looking at Bud's highest night, which was Spitz.
Yep.
And then folks are looking at Canelo's, I want to say, lowest night, maybe really Mayweather, and you can't speed one up and speed one back. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and again, they're both, late 30s, right? So, yeah. So they got a little oil. I don't see where the credit's coming from. I mean, 154 performance, was it great? Go ahead, man.
I would say that my counter is this. I think what people are overlooking is that I don't think Bud Crawford has the same wear and tear as Canelo has, because they have, although they may be different in time as far as ages, whatever, but Terence Crawford hasn't been in a lot of wars. He hasn't been in like a real dog battle, like say with Canelo and Bivol. And I just think those things, yes, I think he's going to train. I will say this. I believe that Canelo will take this serious, because he understands that the William Skull fight was trash. And I'm not even going to get mad at him, because, I think William Skull, he just ran the same way I felt like Charlo did. Once he felt the power, he just pretty much ran. He didn't really throw a lot of punches. Going back and rewatching the fight, it got to the point where it was like ridiculous. Like Derek Dennis, you got to show me something. You got to do something, because he was like, you're not doing anything. So I do believe Canelo, if he, like you said before, if he just he's going to attack his arms and stuff like that, and try to create fatigue where he won't be afraid to engage with him. But also believe at the same time, because they're preparing for such a long time, they're going to be sparring against bigger fighters the whole time, strength and conditioning. And I think that's going to be one of the things where, because it would be smarter for Bud to box him. I think it's going to be more of a boxing match early. That's what I'm saying. He's going to do a lot of jabbing, moving around, giving him different angles, because it'd be crazy. I'm a Bud fan, but it's stupid to be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go in the middle ring and just trade with him. It's going to be a lot of jab, move around, pivot, and you'll see, I think I can see more Canelo getting frustrated, because of the fact that just like Bud can get hit, we've seen Canelo can get hit too. And so it's not a one-sided thing. I just think that it would be advantageous for Bud to put a lot of work into the body, move around, and then when he slows down some, because we've seen even at the best Canelo, he typically tends to slow down around 9th, 10th round. And at that point, then he can kind of turn it on some. But this, like, it's all going to come down to his strength and conditioning, and he have the legs. Because, you know, as a coach, you have to have your legs, so he'll be able to move around and do things like that neighbor. Then he'll probably squat and start hitting with more power punches. But I fully expect it's going to be more jabs, move around jabs. There'll people be mad because, oh, he's not engaging that much, but he's pointing him. He'll win more on points, and then what everybody's looking for as far as the exchanges, I expect those later in the fight once he thinks that Canelo has slowed down.
So how does Bud handle power? And Canelo can counter too. Now I hope that night Canelo actually has better head movement than what we've seen in the past couple of years. But that's what I'm just listening. Like, okay, I hear you. I spar a little bit. Sparring and fighting are two different things. I understand bigger fighters. Okay, Canelo's doing that too. Is he going to come out and fight like Bivol?
No.
In terms of value?
Because I wouldn't say Bivol because Bivol was naturally heavier. So therefore, Bivol came in. But the thing I would say the argument you're making is the same argument you'd be made against Canelo because there's no rehydration clause. You don't think that Canelo's going to come in heavier, and if you don't think that's going to play into him because we already say that his conditioning fades earlier. So if he adds more weight, water weight, whatever the case may be, yes, if he's swinging wild and he's missing whatever, he will fade sooner than he will before. And we've seen Canelo just almost start leaning on the ropes and all that other stuff, but he's great and he's dangerous. So that's why people don't, other than like a Bivol, come in and be willing to exchange with him.
I got you,
so
Champ.
I think it's
I got
going
you,
to
Champ.
be.
So yeah. No, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. You say your thing from
No, so I think just like the weight will affect Bud, I feel like the weight will affect Canelo as well because I don't think he's going to come into the ring like, oh, I'm going to be 168 and that's it. No, I think he's going to bulk up as much as possible because, like you said before, he's the bigger man.
Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
Yeah, I don't understand that logic. I don't understand that logic. He's going to come in heavier.
If that wasn't the case, then why would they have a no rehydration clause? Because I think Canelo wants to be the heaviest person, the bigger person naturally. So therefore, a 5-weight rehydration.
Yeah, we get that. No, we get that, but just because you don't want to have a rehydration clause, he just wants to be able to rehydrate to what he normally rehydrates to. So I don't think he's going to add any mass above what he normally adds, which he's going to naturally be bigger than Crawford.
Right.
That speaks to the advantage of Bud, though. That helps out Bud.
Exactly.
I think it's the opposite, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think just because it all how.
You're saying that Canelo's going to come in heavier. Why would he do that? He doesn't need to do that.
But because I believe he knows it's better for him. I mean, think about it. Most people, if they think they have a weight advantage, then they're going to try to come in, even though it works against them because yes, they're heavier, but they'll make them slower. But Reynoso and everything else. I mean, we're not even going to talk about Reynoso and his fighters with the pop and dirty, whatever. Forget about that. I'm just thinking that for this fight, I do believe we're going to get a motivated Canelo. But I believe you're going to get a motivated Crawford as well because, like you said before, Canelo's head movement is not there. So just like Bud's is there to be hit, so will Canelo. And we're going to see. I think it's going to be more of who can kind of walk through each other's shots because, like I said before, I believe.
Okay.
If it's that, Crawford's done.
But I mean, because my thing is this:
Canelo can Bud take Canelo's shot?
If Canelo can walk through the jab,
come on, Chad.
If Canelo can walk through the jab, then it's going to be then Bud's going to be in trouble. But if Bud is able to keep Canelo at bay and make him reset, then that's going to work for Crawford. I mean, Crawford can keep Canelo at bay.
Bud's been rocked by smaller guys, champ. Bud's been rocked by smaller guys. If Bud said so himself that Gamboa rocked him.
That was one time. But we can't keep using that same logic because
he was hurt by Mean Machine too. He got hurt by Mean Machine.
At 147, he cleaned out everybody. At 147, so you can't. He got rocked at a lesser weight, but he cleared out everybody at 147.
Hey man, he's a good fighter, but I can understand your logic about constantly having to make Canelo reset. I just think the problem is Canelo's going to be looking for that jab, looking to slip that jab and throw. And when he slips and he throws, Crawford better be able to either catch it or get the hell out of the way. Because I'm telling you, this is not going to be like it's not going to be like Errol.
Oh no! Because Errol, I thought Errol was going to lose before he even fought because he did something that I thought was a tell. He had a tell to me that was always going to be a problem because he would two jabs and he would lunge with a punch. I was like, that's going to be a problem because I can see it. I'm pretty sure another coach, a trainer can see that and be like, just hit him or make him whatever. And it was just a bad night when he kept pairing him with the same jab and it took him off. But I just think there's things that Canelo does that even Bivol took advantage of, or even Israeli Landa and other ones seen, because yes, I think that if it's not going to be exchanged, I do not believe it's just going to be a dumb exchange. That's a disadvantage for Crawford. But I do believe he can be a better version because I don't think he does not have the defense of Floyd. Nobody would say that. That's crazy talk because we seen him get hit in the last fight with Madrigal with Rice, and that was crazy. But I do believe with the time that he's invested, it's going to be allowing the time to clean up some of his mistakes, some of the defensive deficiencies, and so he's preparing more for Canelo than Canelo is preparing for him because he just came off of fighting William Skull, which really wasn't that much because Skull just ran. So I mean that wasn't a lot, but even with that, he looked slow. He couldn't cut off the ring. So
yeah,
I know you got to talk to other people, but
let me give 943 the opportunity to talk real quick. 943, you've been on for a while. What's going on?
What's going on, Grady? Too rich, man.
Oh, what's up, Too Rich? Oh, you about to come in here and talk some craziness too, but go ahead.
Hey, man, I think y'all kind of, well, I ain't gonna say y'all, but, a couple of y'all probably got it wrong, man. You gotta look at who Bud is, man. Bud got a lot of knockouts. You don't get that many knockouts without going to the inside. This won't be an outside fight like people think it will. We don't have Bud fought like that. Even when he fought Post-Style, he dropped Post-Style twice. So Bud's coming, bro. He know it's gonna be look better for him to stop Canelo or drop Canelo. So he's going to take chances when it's time to take a chance. Now, Bud, you may call it the outside. It's going to be the outside for Canelo, but Bud got long arms. His outside going to still be in the pocket for him because he's going to be able to touch Canelo before Canelo touch him. He used a time jab. That's going to be a time. He's not just really shooting the jab. So every time Canelo comes a little close, he's going to eat that jab. He's going to eat that jab, and that's going to slow things up. But if Bud want to do damage, he got to go to the inside. So he's going to let Canelo hit him. He's going to let him. He's going to put his high guard up. He's going to let Canelo hit him because he got to feel what he's working with to know what distance he needs to judge it. That's why you kept saw him leaning in against Madrigal. Let Madrigal hit him with that lead right, but Madrigal wouldn't hurt him, but he needed to know what he was dealing with. You see what I mean? But in the 10th, 11th round against Madrigal, Bud was on the inside. He don't know how to fight this outside fight. Y'all think that he's going to fight because he has the ability. He's a dog, man. So that could put him in the wheelhouse to get knocked out. Don't get me wrong. But I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for that every great fight has, man. I want y'all to pay attention to this. When Bud and EJ fought, EJ was seen as the biggest fighter, but it was a moment in that fight where they locked up and Bud just pushed him off. And you saw that Bud was the stronger guy in the ring. And Tank versus Frank Martin, everybody thought Frank Martin was the strongest guy, the built-up guy. It was a part in that fight where they locked up and Tank threw Frank Martin off. It was a time when Tank locked up with Lamont Roach. Well, Lamont Roach seemed like he was a more powerful guy. So it's going to be a time early in that fight where they lock up, and we're going to figure out who the strongest, because Canelo's been said to be strong too. So we're going to see who the strongest guy is. Somebody got to go backwards. Somebody to get, when Canelo didn't look good because he was able to be pushed backwards. Same thing with Tank. Roach was able to get Tank going backwards. So it's going to be a similar fight. Well, to me, with Tank and Roach rematch, going to be similar to Canelo, because Canelo the biggest guy, but he's not the tallest guy. So he's not going to trigger the fear out of Bud. Bud may be the slightly taller guy. He's not going to be scared to go in there. Now, Canelo beats Bud. That's going to be impressive, man. Even Canelo beating Charlo, it might have been a mismatch, but to see how he was going to do it was impressive. You know, so if Canelo could get it done, I think we see a good Canelo. But I think Bud gets it done because he got to. He got to.
So when he fights in the inside and he gets knocked to sleep, what are you gonna come back on the channel and say? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I want you to go back and look at Bud highlights. Bud got something he do. When he goes to the inside, he takes his head to the armpit of the guy. What does that do for you? You can get off and he can't hit you cleanly on the inside. Sometimes the inside is the safest space to be because the guy can't get a reach on you. It's just a matter of getting caught coming on the inside. But Bud's going to get to a lot like Keyshawn. Watch how they move. They're going to get to the inside. They can be right up under there without being hit. So
can I ask you a question?
He's got to go to the inside.
Can I swing around instead of swinging underneath with uppercuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but hold on.
If Canelo arm punches was so devastating, why didn't they hurt Floyd? He hit Floyd. He hit him a bunch of times.
We
on
talking
the arms, on everything, but they didn't deter a whole lot.
We talking about a fight from 12 years ago, man. You think? I bet you Floyd wouldn't fight a 168 pound version of Canelo. He wouldn't.
Yeah, but you know, Canelo a small 168, man. He's not a big 168.
I'm not saying that he's not, but let me. The safest place is definitely on the inside when you got a fighter that fights from range. And can't get torque on their punches. But a guy who's compact, being on the inside is not the safest place. Canelo gonna uppercut his ass into another world.
He might. That's what's gonna make it good. We ain't never seen Bud look like that. We seen Canelo get beat quite a few times, actually, more than what says on his record. We know what it looks like for Canelo to get outboxed. You see what I mean? We don't know what it looks like for Bud to get beat up like that. Let's see it.
Yeah, I want to see that. I definitely want to see that. That's something I want to see.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can.
I'm getting off. If Bud goes up there and beats him like we think, where it's almost a lapper, where it's a wash. Say 8-4, 9-3 in a UD.
Yeah.
Or stop late stoppers. What do you say about Bud then?
I make excuses.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, you guys have been telling me that this guy cannot cut off the ring, that he can't do this, that he's slow, that I'm hearing all these things. So what else am I supposed to say? That you guys were right. He was as terrible as you said he was. I'm confused.
No, but I mean, the thing is, we're giving credit because Canelo is a great fighter, but the thing is, what we're not saying is that he's unbeatable because you all are coming with the premise like, oh man, it's going to be night. It's like Canelo hasn't beaten nobody like that in a while, so it's like stop that. It's like Canelo is a great fighter, but to act like he's unbeatable, no. That
hold on, I got.
I think
real quick,
the same thing for Bud.
No, I agree. We got 206 in the building. 206, what's going on?
Greg, I
you know exactly what it is, man. It's been some time, but you know who's calling from the 206 range. What are you doing that, man? What's good with you?
Fuck, man. Hey, your name come up as like someone Latino. I thought we were about to get a Canelo Alvarez fan.
I don't know why it does that. I got this new phone. I got this new number, and it does that. I don't know why.
Man, damn, I thought we were going to get a Canelo fan in here. Somebody was going to talk some reason. Now we got another buddy off in here.
Oh no! Everybody just talk about how you know what I mean, your hate for Bud. You know what I mean? How it just oozes out of you. You know what I mean? Oozes out of your pores. You know what I mean?
I don't hate.
It just comes out your mouth. You can smell it on your breath. You know what I mean? All this hate, all this Bud hate that you're throwing around, man. And it's been like that, bro. You sound the same. You know what I mean? You sound the same. I'm glad you warmed up to the idea because at first it was, we don't know nothing about the fight. All this other stuff. The fight wasn't going to go. The man wasn't going to get the fight and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now the man got the fight, and you can't accept it. It's all right. We know this man going to go in there and outclass him. We know Bud's going to put on the show. We just waiting for y'all to catch up.
Yeah.
And all that Charlo stuff you wanted to post about, what do you think he's supposed to say? If you understand, Charlo, he's going to be in his brother's corner to ride or die. He's not going to sit there and say, Bud can do something that his brother couldn't do. He's not going to really try to give too much excuses for his brothers either. It looked like he was trying to hide. But just to sit here and say, Charlo said what we've been saying this whole time, man, ain't nobody care about none of that. Charlo still got to prove something within himself.
We're gonna see him take
So
somebody that has some mental issues going off a layoff of boxing and believe the first thing he said. He still got some stuff to prove himself.
so if Crawford goes into the dirt, will you be back here the next day to celebrate
Bro,
with
you
me?
know Band Up will be here if Crawford loses. But you know
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. You better
I don't know
stop thinking
shit.
on your excuses and all this
I
things.
don't
You
know.
know this guy.
I don't know shit. I don't know a damn thing.
Okay, And when we tell you, when he show you what we've been telling you all this time, then what? Then what? All them videos, all that hate that you've been spewing over this last year or whatever the hell it's been, is gonna be for nothing.
It won't be. I'm a content creator. I create content. What are you talking about? If he wins, I win. If he loses, I win. I win either way.
Right, but if he wins, what will you say? Will you actually give him flowers, or will you be like, well, I heard in the background that Canelo had hurt some ribs, or Canelo had hurt an orbital socket, or he had a knee replacement, or strained a ligament, or will you be like, no, Bud just went in there and outclassed him, outboxed him, much props to him.
If Terence Crawford goes in there and simply outboxes Canelo Alvarez, I'll give him his flowers because I'll know if Canelo looks like the same Canelo I've seen in the past. So there won't be any excuses for me in that regard.
So
But
hold on, did you just hear that? If Canelo looks like the same Canelo, if Canelo,
what did I say?
Up and out right there. You said if you look at the Canelo, no, it's just Canelo. Period. It's not a Canelo. It's just the minute they fight, because that's almost the same logic that Pacquiao tried to use when he lost to Floyd. Well, I was hurt. I don't hear that because if you won, you would never displayed it. So just for if Canelo wins, then Canelo give Canelo props. If Bud wins, then give Bud props. It shouldn't be a backhanded compliment. He won, but Bud.
So you're gonna give Canelo Alvarez props for being the guy that moved up 3 weight classes? Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
Okay.
Because the thing about it is, once he signed up, it's like, yes, you have to give him props. You have to give him props because the same person, just like we gave everybody props for James Toney going up there and beating up Evander Holyfield. This is like he beat him. The same Evander Holyfield that beat up Mike Tyson twice. Give James Toney that same credit. The same James Toney that lost to Roy Jones Jr. at an earlier lighter weight, give him the same props. Don't say, well, just because he was lighter. No, because we've seen it has been done before.
Hey, listen.
So can I ask, and I gotta jump off
yeah, go ahead. I'm about to wrap up soon too myself, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so will y'all consider? And I kind of respect what you're saying. I'm going for Canelo all day, but would you then consider Bud the greatest of all time if he beats Canelo? Because
I
said
would say that. I would say
himself in that interview. I don't agree with that, but that's what he's thinking in his head, that if he does that night, that he's better than all the greats. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, but that's all fighters are going to see the same thing. Floyd said he's the best because he's 50-0, and we can say, and people say, well, he never fought a Hagler or a Ray Leonard, or a Sweet Pea, Thomas Hearns, any of those
because
things.
He beat one fighter.
But because how far you rank him, just how far you rank Canelo that high. Bud fans we think he's that dude. You are saying, Canelo is just so great, as if we haven't already seen him get washed before and lose to other fights, like the previous caller was saying, that he has more losses than what he's getting credit for. So, but it's no, Canelo is a great fighter. We're not going to take that away from him. But to act as if he's unbeatable is crazy. Just like I'm saying, I know Bud is beatable too. But I just think in this fight, just like I'll tell you what, as a Bud fan, I think Bud can beat Canelo. But if you told me you want Bud against the Mexican Monster, I was like, no. That's no. I would think you bit off way too much because he throws punches and bunches in a lot of combinations. So no, I would say that would be an extremely bad fight for him. That's a bad matchup for him.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Greg, let me ask you a question right quick, man.
Yeah.
So to me, when I look at the the Spence fight, right? It wasn't just a fight. What I saw was a game plan being carried out, just like they just knew everything. I mean, they set a lot up before the fight, the tales that Spence had. So it's like they had a really, really good game plan. So we know they got all this time to game plan for Canelo. So one thing I see that I wonder if they see, can Canelo fight off the back foot? Because if he can't, we going to push him backwards. You see what I mean? We ain't never seen Canelo fight off the back foot. You see what I mean? So that could be a weakness, and I wonder if they see that. That's why I say Bud might have to go in there and show that he's the stronger guy and push him back. You see what I mean?
We'll see if that
just we'll see
we got to see, man. I hear what you're saying. I hear what everybody's saying, and we got to see. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all calling in. I got to go ahead and wrap this one up. I'm already at the 2-hour mark, but I appreciate everybody that called in, everybody that contributed to the channel. Again, Jason and I are back. We're gonna be making content. Again, had some things going on the last couple of weeks. Damn, they had to get lawyers involved with this, but. It all ended up working out, so we are officially back, and we'll be dropping content regularly like we used to. So appreciate everybody that called in. Appreciate everybody that contributed to the channel. Appreciate everybody that is in the chat. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out if you haven't already done so. And until next time, peace.
Goodbye.